Chick-fil-A. I could eat there 7 times a day, where the people laugh and children play. Oh, I'm in love with Chick-fil-A.
Welcome to another special BCS podcast. Today we have our very special guest, comedian Tim Hawkins. Tim, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I don't know why you're having me. I don't get it, but I don't ask questions. I don't know how this whole thing came to be, being a professional idiot. I'm very grateful that things worked out.
Not at all. We're grateful that you're here to kick off for our 35th now partnership dinner. That's a great picture of you, by the way. Great ad put
beautiful.
Together. Our 35th annual partnership dinner, which is going to be on March 28th. And so tickets are going fast. And we are so excited to have you as our special guest this year. And it's going to be at the Hilton downtown Austin. And it's going to be a great night packed with a lot of stuff. But we wanted to do this podcast, thank you, just so our listeners can get to know you and know what they're getting into and in for. But I can tell you, I go back to 2007. I was working out one morning, and our kids were in a hybrid school, kind of like homeschool. So we totally relate with your homeschool humor. Yeah. But I got done working out in the morning, and I went and sat down in the living room, and I was catching my breath, and I turned on the TV, and there was an informational video for Full Range of Motion DVD. And I'm looking at these clips that they were playing to advertise your DVD. I could not stop laughing. Now, it's a lot to make me laugh. I will admit my brother Mike is funnier than I am, but he's the only guy that could really make me laugh. But as an older brother, he was the only guy that could make me cry too. So with that, I ordered that video, and from there, and whenever you were in town, we wanted to go see you. So to come here. And again, as we were talking earlier, there's certain things that you say, obviously, that we're thinking, but we don't say. See, when I say it, that's why I'm at my 10th job in the last 3 years.
Yeah, right.
But Jay's had compassion on me. And so we were talking last year, and Jay went and saw your show, and he says, we need to get Tim Hawkins. And so Jay will take it from there with their opening question. But we are so thrilled that you're coming. And thank you for what you do. It just shows that comedy can be clean. And it can be funny, and it gives us an opportunity to look at ourselves and be able to laugh even at ourselves. So,
well in March, awesome. Tim, when I get to see you, it'll be my 6th time to see you. And also, my family and I, and we own all your DVDs. But the one I would share with you is when we came back from COVID, and in Austin, it was very rigid on COVID.
No.
The rest of Texas didn't care, but in Austin, well, we had policemen in our parking lots, making sure we were 6 foot apart. But we did a steak dinner for our teachers just to show them, because they just killed themselves over the spring. It was so hard, and they did such a good job. So we got a steakhouse and fed them steak, and then showed one of your videos. And what a video, I mean the entire thing, an hour and a half long concert.
Wow.
And that's how we reconnected with people we had been spread apart from for so long. And we did it through a love of God, but we did it through laughter as well. And it was one of those things that every year we do something for our folks. We actually had a request, can we do that again with you? Because you weren't there live, but you were the catalyst that brought us all back together. So I thank you for that. I thank you.
Isn't that crazy? Well, I'm so thankful. And that's kind of what I was in my early 30s. We had our 3rd child, and I was just kind of trying to find out. I'd still not gone full time as a comedian, so I didn't even know where my life was going, and where, as far as a job and a career, and then just being at the right place at the right time. That I just stayed committed to doing whatever shows I could while still working and paying the bills. And then the internet comes along, so we went from VHS tapes, demos to the world overnight, and. It's the internet is still something that I still don't understand. We still don't get, but wow, it's very humbling, very grateful it happened.
You got to work with kids and try to figure out the internet. It scares you to death.
It sure does. Yeah.
Well, it kind of leads me to our first question is, there are a lot of kids that listen to this, because we have a lot of our students on, and And one of the things that is exciting about seeing and hearing from you, and the important message you have, is the preparation that you do to not leave anyone out from being laughed at, and laughed with and laughed at. And that's one of the things
equal
I love about
opportunity
you.
offender.
Yes, exactly. And it's one of the things that is in today's age of kids having their feelings hurt, always being the victim, being the one being laughed at sometimes, not in a mean way, but in the way is a wonderful thing. Just kind of off the bat, what message would you have for a bunch of preteens and teens who are trying to live for Christ in a world that is trying really hard to tell them not to?
Well, I would say there's a lot of different directions you could go. I would just say, this is not a system. This is not a system to make your life better. The gospel is a person. It's not a system of principles. It's not a 12-step program. It's an actual person. Jesus, he is the way, the truth, the life. And so, I think we mentioned it before we started the show here. It's all about proximity to God. It's all about being close to his closeness. No matter what you're going through, is that he is present. It is not, he's not here. You bring him your car with a little dent in your fender and you fix my car and I can drive off. No, he destroys your car and he says, get in mine and I'll take it from here. And the gospel is a wonderful, frightening, amazing mystery ride. And it's about really not just religiously about trust and all these flowery words that you find on coffee mugs and on Instagram posts. It's about, look, he'll get in the dirt. He'll go wherever you are, he's going to be. And he's given you passions. He's made you unique. He knows who you are. He's your biggest fan. And it's not about being on fire for him as much as realizing how much he's on fire for you.
I love that. It's kind of like the story everyone loves, the story of Jesus walking on water and calming the storm, but they forgot the reason the disciples were in the boat is because Jesus told them to get in the boat and send them out on their own. So that's one we remind our kids of often. So thank you. That's actually, I love that.
Yeah, well, definitely. Kids, and I would also say this: don't just get out there and fail. Just go out there and fail as much as possible. Put yourself out there, because that's where the fun is. And I'm so glad that I didn't finish. If I would have known how bad I was doing comedy starting off, I would have quit years ago. But I guess ignorance is bliss. And the thing about that I knew that this is what I was supposed to do is when I would fail at it, there was no question of quitting. Other things I've done, like sales jobs and things like that, where if I would fail, I'd want to quit. But doing comedy, which is the most frightening thing I think you can probably do, and I would fail, I would be like, okay, how do I make this better? There's not a question I was going to quit. This is it. This is where this is what I'm supposed to do. And I'm glad I didn't quit.
Oh, that's awesome. And that's what humility is all about. And that's where the brokenness, like you said. And it's crazy. Remember that bumper sticker they had years ago that would say, God is my co-pilot. It's like, are you crazy? God needs to be the pilot. I need to be in the back seat, but not giving directions.
He's asleep on the side. Just wake me if you need me. Wake me if you need me.
Along those lines, can you tell us a little bit about your own personal journey and how you came to Christ?
Yeah, I got saved early on. I was like 7 years old, and I just in a Baptist church, you remember it was the old Baptist church with the green carpet and smelled like Play-Doh. I just remember the smell of Play-Doh and paste and crackers and grape juice. And early on, I just got this Jesus is, I want him to be there. Whenever I die, I want him to be there. And I just had call it what it is. I just, but I asked him into my heart as a little kid. And of course, you live your life and high school comes around and you're making decisions and you don't know what you're doing. I mean, we're all just kind of flailing around. Who knows what's going on, in life. And then, I just recommitted myself in my early 20s to the Lord and met my wife. And and got married at 25, and here we go.
Nice.
But yeah, I don't. Like I said, once again, I don't have that powerful testimony. That's a joke I do in the show. Is that I don't have a powerful testimony. Like I wish you're sitting in church. Everybody's sitting in church. Some guy's giving his testimony. You're like, oh, his testimony's awesome. I hate my testimony. I wish I was addicted to crack. That would have been so cool.
I've talked about that one so often. We've talked about that joke so often. We're the same way. It's like we're just really boring. We just always.
Well, I tell you what. Crack addiction is scary, but I tell you what's even scarier is self-righteousness.
Ooh.
That's what really scares me about my life, where it just getting into that works-driven kind of thing. Just that self-righteous kind of I'm doing better.
Well, it's what you fight in your comedy an awful lot. I love bringing people from the church because you fight that in your comedy. It makes people really kind of stop and look. I shared with you, I grew up Church of Christ. My papa was a Church of Christ preacher in one of the Hellfire and Brimstone churches. Best man I ever knew. But he was a World War II veteran with a third grade education, but was just the best man I ever knew. But he had a very rudimentary, elementary understanding of the Bible because that's what he understood. So he lived a very fundamental life. But growing up that way, one of the joys that I found, your comedy was one of them, is that, boy, it's okay to not only laugh at ourselves, but find that we have a lot more in common than we have different. And whether you're sitting next to your Baptist friend or your Methodist friend or your Catholic friend, is that there's an awful lot that's similar that we go. And you don't leave anyone out. So one thing I love is that it's kind of like Gallagher. You don't come and sit on the first 3 rows. As you come to Tim Hawkins, and you're going to get, your feelings hurt over where you go to church. You're out of luck. Well, let me ask you this. I know both of your parents were teachers. Like I say, I've been to enough of your shows. This is a school, and we have a lot of people that dedicate their lives, and it is a personal ministry for our teachers. My wife is one. She's been here, I think, 28 years. And, she teaches here because she teaches in the name of Christ. We're also the 9-time defending state academic champions. It's a great school. And we're not one of the rich schools by any means. We actually are a very family affordable one. But our teachers, people that we every year hope and pray will rededicate their lives for one more year to teaching kids, how to make it in life, but do it as a believer, as somebody who puts Christ first. Mm-hmm. What message would you have for those teachers, of somebody that grew up with 2 teachers, two parents as teachers? What message would you have for them?
Well, I mean, I used to say the reason I have 2 parents that were teachers is the reason I'm not a teacher now. It is wow, what a unique job. Just to have that level of influence and the opportunity that you have to influence kids' lives. I mean, and we think that kids their brains don't develop till 25. They probably don't remember. And I think it's some of the most foundational things you can learn about yourself. My 6th grade teacher just pulled me aside and telling me I was a leader. You're a leader. I didn't even know what a leader is. It's like, what does that even mean? But the ability to plant seeds in their life, like the word of God is a seed. It's just seeds. It's God plants with his word in our hearts. Those are seeds that you may not see, the fruition of it or the end product. But what a great opportunity as a teacher to, I just see my parents, the kids love them. They just love them, and especially if you don't have those. A lot of kids don't have that positive adult in their life. Not just a father, but I'm talking a mother or a father, or a feminine or masculine representative, someone who can give them a foundation and reference for life, someone they can go to when they have real problems. I would just encourage you that this is, people say, oh, teaching is, they'll throw it down. The what's the word? pander, they'll pander. Oh yeah, it's the most important job. It really, I don't know if it's the most important, but dang, it is, it is a, what, once again, what a wonderful opportunity,
Mhm.
to influence the next generation and generations to come. Um, so, yeah, I would just say, just thank you for what you do.
Well, I really appreciate what you said, because one of the things with especially young teachers is the delay of gratification, because
Right.
sometimes it's several years later and then all of a sudden a kid comes back to you and they're now walking with Christ and got a great job and all. And my wife teaches first grade. I don't even know if I went to first grade, but she will have
Right.
kids come back that will still come to her and thank her for something she said. It just amazes me how impactful they are.
Yeah, my mom, and she's like a rock star. She taught, third grade for 30 years. And, people will come up to me in my town and I think they'll want an autograph. They're like, your mom was my teacher, my third grade teacher. I'll never forget her. She was the best, whatever. It's
My daughter's a third grade teacher, and I was like, you would think that's the year that life begins for some of these kids. So yeah, same here. My daughter is a rock star. So
That's such a vital position.
It is, and it may be a local rock star, but you're still a rock star. It's like, yeah. So, wow,
And that influence could go either way too. Unfortunately, you could have a huge negative impact on kids, and that's why schools like us exist, is to make sure that kids are grounded in God's universe.
Well, and I'll tell you along those lines, and I can't imagine how you carry this, Tim, but I can't go anywhere. We're a school of 700 kids. That's not that big. I can't go anywhere. I was in Rome a couple of years ago, and I hear Mr. Burcham, and it was a group of our former kids that were there. Like, you can't get everywhere you are. There's a set of eyes on you if you're in this role, and I can't imagine with you. You can't step outside without someone.
No, I thankfully I'm like a D-level YouTube celebrity, so when it does happen, it's very nice and it's very appropriate. And
that's
I don't
humility.
Yeah, you know what? I know that I'm an idiot. I know that's the blessing I guess I have. I know that I'm just a regular dude. So I never did this for fame. I never did it for, I did it for desperation. I really tried everything else. So
says the guy that sold out San Antonio in 3 days. I was watching those tickets, by the way, hoping I could get one, and it was too late. So
well, once again, I don't ask questions. I just show up and try to be charming.
Well, you succeed. It's funny whenever you talk about your papa, I can't help but always hear Tim Hawkins say in the background, "Meemaw, papa."
Meemaw, seesaw.
Those are West Texas grandparents.
Because I grew up from Southern California. Yeah.
Yeah, if you make it this far and you're the patriarch, no, they don't. Look, you should have some say in what your grandkids call you. This is not negotiable.
So
we should have final say.
I know you're a granddad now. What do you go by?
I'm Papa, and my wife is Honey. Papa and Honey.
Yeah,
I am
he's
Papa.
I'm Papa Joe. He's Papa Jay.
That great. Just meat and potatoes, Papa.
Simple.
Hey.
Exactly.
Right. Well, to me, the best man I ever knew was my pawpaw, and so that was just an aspiration someday. If I had a child worthy of calling me pawpaw, that was check on life.
Yeah, they have these books of baby names. They should have them for grandpa names too.
So yeah, my daughter, my mom tried to get my daughter to be called Jelly Bean when she was like 2, and my daughter had said, "Nope. I'm not going to be Jelly Bean. You're Jelly Bean," and kept saying that to where she became known as Grandma Jelly Bean. So she reversed it. That was Renee. So who inspires you now? How are you staying grounded in your faith, and who do you listen to as far as someone to motivate you when you really want to have theological insight and growth in your faith?
I've always really enjoyed C.S. Lewis. I mean, the guys, the turn of century guys, and early 20th century dudes. That G.K. Chesterton and guys like that, just my gosh, the way that they think and they can, and these were people who were they weren't in a bubble. They were in the world in a really the 20th century was not a fun time for a lot of reasons. So that's a couple guys I really come back to a lot. Yeah, they're my favorites.
Awesome.
Well, I've got a question for you from some of our kids, and this is one every year when we have someone come up, they ask me to ask this question. You're from St. Charles, Missouri, and I actually had to look that up and figure out where St. Charles, Missouri was. It's not a place I had heard of. How does someone
the birthplace of comedy?
Yeah, well, how does someone from St. Charles, Missouri, go on to become literally, and you can say you're not, but one of the most prominent comedians of our generations? Because everyone, like I say, when we announced that you were going to be here, from little to big, cheered because they all know you. How does that happen from St. Charles, Missouri?
I don't know. I do know this, that if the easiest way I can say it is, you say yes until you can say no. So at being a comedian, there's no manual for it. There's no school you go to figure it out. You just have to find audiences. And that can start with doing announcements at your church. That can start with doing 5 minutes at a comedy club. That can start with, speaking for doing a short thing at an adult appreciation banquet at your church, whatever. Those are the kind of things that I did. Or heaven forbid, a youth lock-in at 2 a.m. I mean, if you can survive that, you can survive anything. But yeah, I think the thing is that I just stayed consistent and just performed where I could, whether it be in churches or prisons or little corporate things or whatever, birthday parties, whatever it was. And go back and, like, even still after every show, I'm going through my notes. What did I say different? What can I do differently? How, it's kind of scientific. It's like, what worked, what didn't work. I try to, what I call trim the fat. You trim the fat off the show. You make it tighter. You make, you're bringing in new stuff. You're throwing out old stuff. You're trying to make what you have better. It's just taking it seriously and being meticulous with it. Attention to detail, and that's, I think that's why a lot of businesses, whether you like Amazon or not, we use Amazon, and because it improves our quality of life. They're very detailed. It's very easy to use, and I think that just it didn't happen overnight. It takes decades of work.
Yeah,
so
I've had the opportunity to hear you speak before on some of this, and one of the things I tell the kids is twofold off of your lesson, because I use you as an example, because to me, there's not a business more difficult to maintain your Christian posture in than show business. Because at every corner you're asked to set aside your values and go with what's current and popular. And so somebody that has not only stayed true to who they are, but true to their Savior, somebody that had to work real hard to do it, but then achieve success, that it can be done, that there are people, and it is one of the things when you work with kids all day, to be able to set people up as examples of, you don't have to put Christ to the side to be somebody who can make it here. So I really appreciated that about you, is that you never, we used to watch a lot of Jeff Foxworthy because he was always clean, except when I found some of his early stuff and it was not clean at all. Right. Never heard anything from Tim Hawkins that wasn't something I could play in front of my kids. From anyone could sit there and laugh at it and not, if they get offended, they've got their belt on a little too tight, but it's definitely not anything that would offend our Lord and Savior.
Yeah, I tell people I get all my cussing done by noon. So I cuss on the inside the way Christians they should do. I don't know. No, I've never wanted to. I knew fame was a lie from the beginning. I never wanted to be a part of any secular industry. To be honest, I don't really want to be part of the Christian industry. I think that I've said no to a lot of things. The America's Got Talent and all these other deals, because from what I've seen and what I've experienced is that they just use what they need and they spit you out the back. And thankfully, I've got the shows that I do on my tours. They're so much fun. It's like, well, you got to be better than that, or I'm saying no. Um, you know, and I'm good with this. I don't. My goal is not to break it and make it and break. You know what I'm saying? Just find stardom. I have no. I don't want it. I just don't want it. I'm good. This is a good speed for what I do. I just want to make good art, and I want to, connect with people and lug my guitar and my keyboard around. And
well, I will tell you, from
keep
sitting
doing
on
it.
this side, somebody that every time you come through shells out the money to go see you.
Yeah,
We think you made it, and
yeah,
and I know, Joe, we got just a couple more questions to wrap up. But one of the
sure.
things I do want to throw in there is, I love the fact that you bring the music with you.
Such talent.
Thank you.
It is amazing to me how talented you really are with that. Your songs not to sing at a wedding. It's funny, but my goodness, you cover every genre in there, and you hit every one of them just right. Those of us that, my daddy wanted me to play football. He wouldn't let me take any music lessons. I would love to be able to play a musical instrument right now.
Yeah,
So,
well,
really
I would
jealous of
encourage
that.
also the kids. It's like I didn't start playing really guitar until I was 21. I mean, I bought a Stevie Ray Vaughan cassette and a Stratocaster, and just tried to learn the blues, And at the same time, I started doing comedy, so I kind of learned music and comedy at the same time. And I just always loved the musical comedians, Ray Stevens and Weird Al Yankovic, growing up, and and it's good for multiple age ranges that I perform for. Music is so good for energy, and it's just fun. It's a fun, entertaining thing. It's what I like. I like it. A lot of comedians think if you pick up a guitar, you're a hack, and that's guy in a comedian. Yeah, he's gonna. It's like he's Carrot Top. He's got props and stuff. Hey, whatever it is. I mean, I enjoy it.
My son grew up with fire ants as that was his
Yeah,
personal mantra through life, was the fire ant
yeah.
songs.
What a horrible animal that is. Oh my gosh, what a horrible. The story of that song is, because we lived in Texas at the time. We were walking out of my friend's house, and we were asking. His son was playing in the dirt, because people don't have yards in Texas. It's just dirt and weeds. And we said, "What are you doing?" He goes, "I'm feeding this caterpillar to the fire ants." And I said, "Is he dead?" And he goes, "Not yet." So, yeah. Once again, it's like that was the song where it's just real. Fire ants are horrible, and people relate to it. It's like, yes, the fire ants are.
Yes,
I don't know.
But to a
A
9-year-old
mistake.
boy, that was like the song of his life. It was.
It touched
I had
him.
to listen to him sing that in the back seat for a year and a half. So I appreciate that. Thank you.
Oh, you got it. I guess I don't know if I apologize or what. I just, once again, especially with the internet, you never know the way people consume what you do. It's
okay. My wife still sings a Chick-fil-A song every time we go by Chick-fil-A. So.
I love it.
Yeah, my wife and I, we bought all your DVDs, by the way. So it's
yeah.
They're
DVDs anymore, man. What is it now? I mean, I started, it was VHS, and then it went to CDs, and then DVDs, and then now what? I guess it's all streaming.
Yeah,
it's all streaming and clips and 15-second clips, and who knows where we're going.
So you kind of already answered this question a little bit previously, but how do you test your material? How do you know it's going to work? And by the way, I do want to say, on your guitar playing, it's not just the creativity with the songs and the lyrics. The way you play, you can play that guitar, man.
Well, you know what? I there's so much downtime on the road. That's one of the deals with travel and touring, is there's a lot of boredom. So I decided early on, it's like, well, I'm going to use that time to get better and practice and teach myself new instruments. And I just bought a mandolin last year, and I'm learning how to do that, and I'll start using it in shows. So yeah, and I think it adds to the comedy. The better if it's played better, if it's done with more efficiency, I think it's even more entertaining. Yeah, it's more entertaining. And I appreciate that.
Do you read music, or you've just taught yourself to play?
No, just play by ear and kind of figure it out that way.
I am 56 years old, and I bought a guitar last year for the first time.
Yeah.
And then I got in a wreck and I broke my neck. And so I've had a couple of bad surgeries. So I'm just now to the point I'm allowed to pick up something that heavy. But I am 56 years old, and I have told my wife I'm going to learn how to play the guitar. And I don't know.
I would say,
like you. I don't know. I'd jump in and buy a Stevie Ray Vaughan and start there. I might try a notch or two below, like Metallica or something.
All right, get some Merle Haggard records and just get a little acoustic and play. I would say just 30 minutes a day. You'll be amazed at how far you can advance in your technique and stuff. But AI, AI has been really helpful. I've been using to help me write recently, and it's not funny. AI isn't funny, but it's almost like an assistant that does research for you. It gives you, if you want to write on a certain topic, it gives you all, just certain terms and references that you can use. So that's been a lot of fun. And
we keep telling kids every day, yes, we know about AI, and you still have to go to school.
So. That's right, dude. I might be AI right now. I don't know. Just kind of being self-aware. And it's more about, the biggest laughs that I get are when people relate to what I'm talking about. It's not because I'm witty or say, make up some really crafty joke. It's when I tell the truth. That's what gets the biggest response, because people laugh harder when they relate to it. If I do an imitation of my uncle at the family reunion or whatever, it's just that everybody can relate to it, and they know it. They know what he sounds like. They know what he does. They know his mannerisms and things like that. Comedy in general is such an important thing right now, because the world system is about telling us how different we are than one another. Mm-hmm. And you know what I'm saying? And playing us against that's the devil's main tool in his toolbox these days. Mm-hmm. And comedy reminds us it's just that we all have so much in common. And especially, and as the body of believers, it's important to have unity. God talks a lot about unity in his word. And, of course, we have different approaches and different likes. It's like I'm not for everybody. I'm not everybody's cup of tea, and that's okay. You just throw it out there, and it's really none of my business what people think of it.
Well, I will tell you, when the Chick-fil-A song comes on in chapel, they all stand up and dance still, and that's been out for a few years.
The Chick-fil-A salute.
That's right.
Isn't that crazy?
That's yoga pants.
That's a perfect example. The Chick-fil-A song is like, that song was written because everybody's been there. You're craving Chick-fil-A. You drive in the parking lot. You forget it's Sunday, and you have this meltdown in your head, like, like Christmas has been called off or something. I got to wait a whole nother day before I can go to Chick-fil-A. Yeah, it's an interesting frontier we live in.
But testing your material, do you test it on your family, on your kids?
I don't. I think what I really do mostly is give them a concept. I'll say, hey, have you guys noticed this? Like I'm thinking of an idea with kind of this thesis or this premise. So I don't perform for them, but I'll just ask them, like, because your family doesn't courtesy clap, and they'll tell you what they really think. Like, that's right.
Well, you used to talk about that a lot when your kids were little, that they never thought you were funny. Is that true?
It's hard to say. It's just a different relationship with your kids. Mm-hmm. And I don't really care. I love making them cringe. I love when I do something that makes my kids cringe. That's the best thing that ever happened to me. Is doing something like telling a dad joke or just being really goofy. When they come after me and make fun, I don't have that chip in my head that wants to get them back. I just absorb it. I just like, you're living in my house, dude. What are you going to say? You're eating my food. You're wearing my, what?
That is awesome.
But I'm so entertained by my whole family. I think I'm the least funny person in my family, and I'm not being, that's the truth. I'm so entertained by my kids and my wife, and just the realness, and what a blessing it is to have people in your life that you can just, it's not an act. And What a great thing. And then there's been so much investment, and so it's hard. I mean, I see my kids having kids now, and I've got 4 grandkids now, and I just remember, you remember how, the, I don't know if this is the same with you. You look at old pictures, like when your kids were little, and every picture of me, I'm just like, just ashen face, 30 pounds overweight, laying down. They're on top of me,
Yep.
just always tired. And
well, it's like my daughter brings my little 6-month-old grandson over. It's like, can you please just watch him so I can take a nap? Just wants 30 minutes for a nap, and then life starts over. I remember the days, but
it's hard, but it's so, my gosh, the payoff is, we went to Disney this last week, and I've got my little, I've got 3 little grandkids with me, and just, come on, man. I mean,
it doesn't get any better.
It really doesn't. And it's better than what they said it would be, being a grandparent and just legacy and all that stuff.
A pastor friend of mine used to say, if I would have known how much fun grandkids were, I would have had them first.
Right. It's like dessert first. I'm going to eat dessert first.
I showed my grandson a Three Stooges clip the other day, and he's 3, and he was laughing. And I'm like, now I got him. That's awesome.
Yeah. Best friends.
I know we're fixing to have to close because we do want to be respectful of your time, and I know our time is almost up.
That's true. I got to go and break down some boxes upstairs. I got a big day. I got a big day ahead, guys.
Well, whoever we work with that is your assistant is very good about telling us,
Andrew's
keep
great.
on time. So we're going to keep him very happy on this.
Yeah. Okay, good.
Let me just say this, as somebody really that has followed you for many, many years and greatly appreciated all you do. One of the things that is so evident, and we have some big names that we have worked with that have come through who put on a show, but the minute the lights turn off, there's someone different. And one of the things, just sitting and visiting with you, and I think I have been able to figure out through the years, is it seems like you are who you are on the stage. That's not somebody different when you walk off. That really is who you are, which is such an important lesson we try to give to our kids here today is be who God made you, be who you're supposed to be, develop those gifts, fail. Get out there and get your nose bloody on the football field or on the stage, and then bounce back from it. But I just want to say I genuinely appreciate not just the comedy, because I do appreciate that. We have gotten hours of joy from listening to you. But the fact you are who you are, whether you're on the stage or off, just gives us someone to talk about with our kids and say, this is what you aspire to. You aspire to greatness. But when you become great, you're the same person you were when you were failing at the bottom trying to get there. And if they can do that with Christ in their lives, they've done all right.
All right. I'm sorry, I wasn't listening the last 3 minutes. What did you say?
It was
I'm
for
kidding.
the kids.
Yeah. No, I'm kidding. No, I would say, one of my favorite quotes is, "You don't climb the mountain to be seen, but to see." Just keep that wonder and keep that realness. And God has given us an amazing. Just to be alive is it's too much. You can't grasp all that He's done for us, and living in a spirit of gratitude. Once again, living in trust. Once again, there's not always certainty. We're not guaranteed anything. And so once again, I've never lost that gratefulness in doing what I do. I mean, I know what it was like to struggle for many years. Once again, I didn't go full time till I was 33. So it just knowing, I was like, I don't feel like, I feel like I'm good at something, but I was just, He gave me this to do. And I'm just, once again, to be able to come and just hang with you guys and to do shows for y'all and for what you're doing. I mean, it doesn't get any better for me. And I'm just very grateful. And I'm also grateful that, like, when you're just giving me compliments about it, enjoying the comedy and over the years, that just, wow. I'm thank you for all the kind words and for following and being fans. And I will take all the fans I can get. I love it. I've got like 20, 28, 29 now. It's pretty cool.
You will find a whole bunch of them in Austin when you're here. You will enjoy it. So.
And being genuine, because everybody, oh, you're the greatest, you're the best. But really, I mean, if you're really down, I mean, you just pop in one of your DVDs and just how you look at life and the simple things and how you bring humor to it. Sometimes it's in a twisted way, and my mind is twisted, so it's great. It's therapeutic. But just two little things, not really connected, but to finish on. One, is there a percentage, do you ever ad lib during your show where you just throw something in that you didn't plan? And then secondly, I'd like to know, you were D1 baseball. You were ready to take that to a different level. You ever regret that you didn't be able to take that any further?
Not a bit. For one thing, I'll say about the ad lib question, I know probably 95% of what I'm going to do in a show, but I'm open to things that happen and ideas. So that's how you grow an act, is that when you do, I'll say a joke that I've done 10 times and another thing will come out of my mouth like, oh, okay, that's good too. It's just like, you have to be open to it, and also be open to things that happen in the audience. If you have a lady laughing like a seal, and she can't stop, I'm going to stop down and we're going to notice this for a little bit. Right.
That was ad lib.
Yeah.
That was,
at the last show. Yeah.
It happens all the time. It's always a woman. But it's the baseball thing. That's what I did all my life. That's what I thought was kind of the path. I got into college. I went to the University of Missouri and I played redshirt and then played for 2 years and had some success. But it's a job. It's like I want friends. I don't want to hang around a bunch of smelly baseball players my whole life. And I told my coach, I said, when I told him I was leaving, I wasn't playing baseball anymore. I told him I wanted to be a comedian. He looked at me like I had 3 heads. He's like, what? And I never saw him again. Baseball. What's that?
Leaving the certainty of baseball behind. So,
that's the thing. There's no real certainty to baseball. I don't want to. I want to go in the minor leagues and make $500 a month and be miserable and probably start drinking heavily. Who knows what? But no, it was a great choice. I don't regret it one bit. It was fun. It was fun being good and playing and being in sports and getting your name wrote up in the paper or whatever, back when there were newspapers.
But we can't wait till you're here. Yes. And let me just share this with you. You're going to get to meet a lot of our community, and then there'll be a large crowd there. But Austin's a great place for barbecue. If you want lunch, just let us know. We'll take you out to some good lunch as well.
Austin's it's a wonderful, wonderful place. I love that town, and a lot of traffic. I mean, you guys are getting overrun. Maybe work a little harder on building some roads.
Or just building a big
road building in
California.
Or finish the ones we started. Yeah.
I know.
It's like all these people keep moving here from California.
Hey, it's 10 years ago.
You're like the Idaho of Texas. It's like all these Californians moving in.
Yes.
I came in 11 years ago, actually.
That's why I live in Round Rock, but we work in Austin. So,
so you've seen it
in all
change a lot.
It was 300,000 people when I moved here 28 years
What is it now?
2 million?
1.3 million.
Oh.
Is
no
Austin
way.
proper. Yeah. But Austin Metro now, between San Antonio to Austin, is larger than the Metroplex. So you're talking.
Is that right?
Yeah. It's too many people. As you say, we don't have the roads for them, and they don't know how to.
Yeah, when I was living in Dallas, and they had they were starting on the 5th overpass. So I was like, that's the city telling you to leave.
Yeah,
when you get to that 5th overpass, it's like, guys, come on.
My son lives there, and there are exits off the exits off. Waze can't move fast enough to tell you how often to exit. So yeah. Well, when you come down, like I say, we will honor your
barbecue
privacy and all that, but I will take you to some good barbecue if you like, or a ribeye steak. That's even better than barbecue. That's meat that you haven't messed up.
Well, your brisket skills down in Texas are unmatched. I'll tell you what.
Right,
it's some good stuff. All right.
As we close, thank you for appearing. Is there anything we can pray for you?
Just pray for health and for, just the whole thing. I'll take the kitchen sink of prayer. Whatever you want to throw our way, do it. Just, Yeah.
Well,
We'll
just
take
know
it.
that tomorrow morning at 8:50, you're going to have 700 kids and about 900 people, and we will be lifting you up in prayer for
Right.
not only success of the partnership dinner, but out of appreciation for what you've done for us.
Okay.
All right, thanks, Tim.
Cool.
Thanks, kid.
Yes. Appreciate
All
it.
your prayers are appreciated.
Love you guys. I really do. I'm really thankful. Thank you. Great to talk to you.
Same here, Tim. Thanks for the good time.
What a dirty, rotten trick to play. Now I have to settle for Subway. Oh, I'm in love with Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A.